think that's just the word. Because all of a sudden we just changed. Because you know what? I still see those small houses. And some of those houses have been built maybe 70 years ago, 50 years ago. And they are still staying. They still stay. Man, and it lasts. But we just changed. Just somebody, and you know what? They started incidentally. Do you know what? We import sand into Nigeria. We import sand. You can search. All these things I'm sharing with you. They're on the internet. We import sand into Nigeria. We import granite. You know granite. We import granite into Nigeria. But we don't import red sand into Nigeria. We don't import red sand into Nigeria. And there's something that Agbridge has decided to do, to use red sand. The only difference between that kind of houses and the kind of houses that Agbridge wants to get started building is just a mixture of cement. Now what happens with those houses, those mud houses, is because it's not compressed. It's not compressed. When I mean compressed, they are not as you want to make a block out of it. They are not compressed. Secondly, they are not. I think they're going to show us some pictures of that later. They are not compressed. Secondly, they are not mixed with cement. Now, what Agbridge has done is that they are mixing it with cement. Now, red sand. Have you ever held? Maybe you pour your red sand. When it is wet, you hold it together. What happens? It forms. It takes the shape of your hand. When you put it, there's no way you can add sand. There's no sand you can add, any other sand apart from cement that you can mold that will form. Can you add maybe your normal sharp sand, you add it together? It will never. So the best building material currently in the world, that is why you always see most of those old houses in US and UK, they are usually brick houses. Because they are made of what? They are made of red sand. So one of the challenges we currently face in this country is because we evolved, and we are evolving towards the negative instead of evolving towards the positive. That's just one of the problems. So what? Because we are importing, we are spending import duty on those materials. They are charging us higher. So it is one of the challenges. Secondly, some of us, a lot of us just want a particular kind of taste, and we don't want to live within our means. So somebody says, I want a 5-bedroom duplex. I want a 5-bedroom duplex. But you know what? I can only afford a 2-bedroom. When I let this get started with a 2-bedroom, then I can always expand. There's something that Agbridge has within the scheme that's called expandable home. You can build a 2-bedroom. As your family grow, you can continue to. It will not affect your structure. That I think maybe later on, maybe during the charity section, they're going to be discussing that with us. So I can have a plot of land, do a 2-bedroom, if that is, or even a mini flat. Then as Ego done the land, continues to land, what will I do? I'll be expanding. It doesn't mean that the land does not belong to me. But you know what? Because that woman is trying to build what? The woman I described for us earlier, that spent 850,000 naira. She would have just used 250,000 naira, the same 250,000 naira to do what? To build a mini flat. She's the only one. She's 8. She's close to 60. And she wants to relocate. She would have just used 250,000 naira to get started.